For decades, unidentified aerial phenomena have just been dismissed, right? Ridiculed, covered up. But that's all changing. Governments are finally starting to talk, military pilots are breaking their silence, and these stories that were once confined to the shadows are finally seeing the light of day. So join me. Let's take a global tour of some of the most extraordinary encounter stories ever recorded. Just think about that for a second. This is coming straight from a former wing commander in the Japanese military. It's a pretty powerful admission, and it sets our stage perfectly. See, these encounters, they aren't new. The only thing that's new is that people are finally willing to talk about them. So here's our journey for today. First, we'll look at the official story, how governments are going public. Then, we're going to peel back the layers and listen to some whispers from the past. After that, we'll join the hunt for actual physical evidence, before we explore some truly mind-bending theories that go way beyond outer space. Okay, let's start with the official story. This is all about the recent and pretty dramatic shift in how governments around the world are handling the UAP topic. They're moving from just flat-out denial to active investigation. Just look at Japan, for instance. In only 2 years, they went from complete dismissal to active cooperation with the United States. There was this key meeting between defense ministers, and right after, Japan completely reversed its policy. Now they mandate their pilots to record and report any and all UAP encounters. That's a stunning 180-degree turn. And this shift, it's profound. It's a move from this institutional silence, where pilots were basically expected to just look the other way, to active engagement. They've even created a whole new space operations squadron. This isn't just, some change in paperwork. This is a serious investment of national resources. But while Japan's change is recent, some countries have been way ahead of the curve. Chile? They established an official government committee way back in 1997. They famously spent 2 full years studying crystal-clear video of an object filmed by a naval helicopter. And even after all that analysis, they still couldn't identify it. So this new era of transparency, it really begs the question, if governments are only now going public, what secrets have they been keeping for decades? Our next section dives into those hidden stories, the whispers from the past that have been circulating for years, deep in the shadows. And stories don't get much more secret or controversial than this one. It's all about Admiral Richard Byrd, a highly decorated U.S. naval officer and explorer. After a massive 1946 expedition to Antarctica, a secret diary was supposedly found by his son, and it tells a story so fantastic it was apparently kept classified for his entire life. According to this diary, Byrd didn't just fly over a bunch of ice. No, he claimed he entered a lush, temperate world inside the Earth. He said his plane was taken over by flying discs, and he was escorted to a crystal city to meet a being known only as the Master. It's an absolutely unbelievable tale from an incredibly credible source. And the message he supposedly received is crucial. The Master expressed deep concern over humanity's new atomic power right after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, that timing is uncanny, because the modern UFO era just exploded right after World War II, with countless sightings reported over sensitive nuclear sites. And it wasn't just governments keeping secrets. In 1952, a guy named Albert Bender ran the world's biggest UFO investigation bureau. But just 1 year later, after a terrifying visit from 3 shadowy figures who warned him telepathically, he just suddenly shut everything down, told his subscribers he was ordered to stop. Bender was actually the first person to call his mysterious visitors the Men in Black. And this was not the Hollywood version. We're talking shadowy, inhuman entities who threatened him into silence, creating a legend that has haunted UFO witnesses ever since. But okay, beyond secret diaries and strange visitors, is there any tangible proof? Anything we can actually touch? Our next section dives into the hunt for physical evidence, fragments, codes, and artifacts that just defy any easy explanation. Okay, so in 1980, at a U.S. Air Force base in Rendlesham Forest, England, Sergeant Jim Peniston touched the side of a triangular craft that had landed. He claims that this binary code was downloaded directly into his mind. He wrote it all down in a notebook the very next day. Years later, that code was translated, and the message is it's mind-bending. It talks about the exploration of humanity, and then, most chillingly, it gives an origin year of 8100. So wait a minute, that doesn't point to aliens from another star, but maybe, travelers from our own distant future? And then you have the concrete mysteries that just won't go away, like the famous Roswell crash in 1947. Geologists scouring the site have found these tiny metal fragments that one Earth scientist called absolutely amazing. They look pristine after more than 70 years and have layers and banding unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. And the timeline for this kind of evidence? It could go even further back. I'm talking way back. Deep in Russia's Ural Mountains, geologists found thousands of microscopic nanocoils made of things like tungsten and molybdenum. Based on the depth they were found at, scientists estimate they could be over 50,000 years old. Could that have been an ancient crash? So, with evidence pointing towards future humans and ancient crashes, our final section really pushes us to challenge that conventional aliens from space narrative and consider some far more unthinkable possibilities. So, if they aren't extraterrestrial, then what are they? Where could these beings and their incredible craft possibly be coming from? Well, the material we've looked at offers some pretty startling alternatives. Two major theories really stand out. The first is inner Earth. The idea that highly advanced civilizations exist right here, beneath our feet. A world described by Admiral Byrd and echoed in legends of reptilian beings seen coming out of the world's largest caves. The second is that they're time travelers, that they're us from the distant future, coming back to observe, or maybe even correct the past. And this isn't just wild speculation, it's tied to specific accounts we've talked about. Admiral Byrd's diary points to Antarctica. The reptilian sightings are linked to caves in Vietnam. Even the classic gray alien matches descriptions of inner Earth beings from ancient Kabbalistic texts. And of course, that Rendlesham code explicitly suggests a future origin. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. From the depths of our own planet to the far reaches of our own future, the possibilities are just so much stranger than we ever imagined. What if the answer to this whole phenomenon isn't out there, but has been right here with us all along?